are currently living in a protein-obsessed community. I'm telling you, there is protein everywhere. There's protein in your cereal, there's protein in your potato chips, there's protein in your chocolate bars, and we weren't going to have to wait too late before we got protein even at Starbucks in our lattes, in our iced coffees, and in our matchas. In today's video, I want to try Starbucks' brand new, just released this week, protein-packed drinks. And boy, are they protein-packed. The first one I want to try is the hot vanilla bean protein latte. There's 27 grams of protein, there's 330 calories. Let's give it a shot. The mouthfeel is really nice. There's no grit. It's not overwhelmingly vanilla-y, but it also doesn't have that chalky protein powder taste. I'm gonna have to say that it's pretty delicious. It's not what I was expecting at all. But here's the kicker. There's 34, yes, 34 grams of sugar in this baby. That is a whole lot of sugar. In fact, 34 grams of sugar is equivalent to about one piece of chocolate cake. So one piece of chocolate cake to get my 27 grams of protein, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that. Next up, chocolate cream protein cold brew. If that doesn't sound like a tasty dessert, I don't know what does. 330 calories, 19 grams of protein. Let's give it a shot. Okay, much more coffee forward than my vanilla latte here. Kind of crunchy with the ice. I was expecting a little bit more of a smoothie. Not the greatest coffee taste. I feel like it didn't mix as well. The protein doesn't seem to be incorporated quite as much, that I'm not really enjoying the flavor as much as I did this one. It's still good, but it feels intense, and it feels like if I got down to about here, I might really not be feeling well. But here's the kicker. 26 grams of sugar. Guess what, guys? That's pretty darn close to 27 grams of sugar in a Snickers bar. Like, really? Let's move along. Another popular option is the matcha. You know, doesn't matcha make you feel like you're doing something healthy? I always feel like if I order matcha, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'm having like matcha. Must be some kind of Zen, really healthy kind of thing that I'm doing. So they've got the hot protein matcha drink. Let me give that a try. Okay, you know what, that matcha, yikes. You know what, it looks really nice. It really looks foamy and nice and pretty and ready for, you know, St. Patrick's Day. Man, I am not liking that. I thought I was doing something really good here. I do have 28 grams of protein since we're all on this protein obsession. 310 calories doesn't seem that bad, but 30, yeah, count them, 30 grams of sugar. Keeping in mind that for every 4 grams of sugar, that's a teaspoon. That's a whole lot of sugar. I'm really getting kind of a little bit concerned about that. So they do have another option for those of you like me that are maybe looking for less sugar. They have the no sugar added option. Well, that sounds like it's going to be fine, right? Because like, let's go back to our really tasty, probably the tastiest one I've had so far, the vanilla protein latte. So I can get this in the no sugar added variety. It's going to taste the same because all they're doing is they're changing the vanilla syrup into sugar-free vanilla syrup. So of course you're getting now stevia and maybe some sucralose. Not so sure about that. I'm not really sure what they use for their sugar-free option. So this one with the no sugar added option, not the same as sugar-free option, because in this one, which sounds now like it's going to be really very innocent, still 15 grams of sugar, even in the no sugar added option. So really be careful about that. Don't get lulled into this sense that, you know, you pick the no sugar added, it's not the same as sugar free. But, you know, is there a better option all around? Well, of the lot of the new ones that they've brought out, the best option is the iced, no sugar added vanilla latte. And this one is only 9 grams of sugar. That is a really substantial difference compared to our original at 29 grams of sugar and our no sugar added option at 15 grams. So this one at 9 grams, much thinner, much more coffee forward, almost more refreshing. Actually, if you're looking for a refreshing drink, this one is kind of refreshing and not nearly as thick and creamy, hence also the less sugar. So really what I want to point out is, you know, if these are a treat, then that's one thing. But if you think that now in your drive-through Starbucks, you're just going to be able to, you know, get that your drink all together with your protein, keep in mind what you're really getting. Yeah, we all want to get our protein, and we really want to get our protein more easily by adding it, you know, just into something that maybe we're drinking on the go. But keeping in mind that it's not maybe as innocent as it sounds, and the amount of sugar is really maybe a lot more than you need in your diet, especially if you're watching out for insulin resistance and you're trying to lower your sugar intake. All right, so what can you do? What about if you really like coffee? What if you really like the coffee smoothie? And what if you really want to go with a coffee protein option? Maybe there's something that you can make at home or somewhere else that might cut into this overabundance of sugar that we're trying to avoid. Let's see what we can do. So you want something really tasty, kind of a treat, feeling like, you know, you're having something special, but forgetting that crazy amount of sugar. Well, how about Dunkin' Donuts? Do you know what? There's Dunkin' Donuts honey glazed flavor protein powder. I have not tried this, but, you know, my son loves donuts, so I thought, you know, this would be a good one to try. In one scoop, 120 calories, 25 grams of protein, and guess what, guys? Just 1 gram of sugar. So I've asked David here if he can mix up. I've got just a black coffee from Starbucks. We're going to mix the protein in, see if I've kind of got, you know, coffee and donuts going on. Let's see how that tastes. Looks frothy. Okay, awesome. Thank you, David. All right, coffee and donuts in 1 cup. Let's give that a try. Different. Really different. I like it. Not too sweet. Very subtle. I don't know if I'm really picturing the glazed donut here. I might have to really work on that, kind of get my, you know, internal imagination working overtime. But just 1 gram of sugar with my coffee. You know, that is a pretty good trade-off. I think I want to say, first off, you know, kudos to Starbucks for really staying with the curve. People are really looking for protein easy options to add to their diet. We really want to add protein. For me, I've talked a lot about the fact that I'm trying to cut down on sugar. So I wanted to definitely bring that into the focus of these easy, convenient drinks that are bloody expensive, by the way. And but just let you know that, you know, just because it's added protein doesn't mean healthy. Just because something says no sugar added doesn't mean that it's fine, and there's still no sugar, because there is sugar. They just didn't add additional sugar. Not to mention the fact to keep in mind that this sugar-free option also has maybe sucralose, maybe other things that can still impact your blood sugar. So kind of try to look at the whole picture and not just think, hey, you know what, guys, so I'm having my latte and I've added the protein and I'm all good. You know what? There's a little bit more to consider. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Tell me if you've tried some of these ones from Starbucks and what you think and what you like, and maybe you've made your own tweaks to it that you can offer up to some of the other viewers, because that's always really interesting. So look forward to seeing you in the next one, and until then, cheers.